So I am sitting with the forsythias. They're so pretty. I love them. It's like the first sign that spring is coming. But I wanted to talk today about inflammation and mold toxicity. I did not realize that this was going on with my body. So, I prided myself in trying to be healthy and trying to do what I could to reduce inflammation, and was deluding myself that I was doing that I was doing it. At the worst part of my situation with inflammation, before I just totally broke down, I'd about gotten to the point where I was to get up from a seated position or to get down to a seated position was extremely painful. Going to the bathroom and sitting down on the toilet, I thought that I was just gonna fall out. It hurt so bad. Getting out of my car, it was taking forever to position myself so that I could keep my back from hurting so bad that I wasn't just gonna fall out. So I did finally realize after the bad thing was when my wrists started to hurt and I started to get to be a huge hypochondriac. When inflammation gets so bad and then it starts affecting so many parts of your body, but you can't pinpoint what the world's going on, that's when your hypochondriacism just comes out in a full swing. And I even went to the orthopedist because my wrists were hurting. I thought that I had carpal tunnel, and I went to the chiropractor, and he did these little things. He says, "Leanne, you do not have carpal tunnel." And I was like, well, I don't know what it is then, because my wrist hurt so bad. I was wearing splints on them, and it was getting really bad. And the orthopedist said, "You're just 48 years old. It just happens." He called it something like a joint or whatever, and gave me that meloxicam, and sent me on my way. And I took the meloxicam, and it did help. I don't recommend that either. It's just a covering up the symptoms, but whatever. It did make me feel better, somewhat. And so after I realized that I had to come to the recognition that yes, I am very inflamed. Mold toxicity has done this, because mold toxicity is also called CIRS, which stands for Chronic Inflammatory Response Syndrome. That's what it does. It totally shuts down your detoxification system, which because of the biotoxin from molds, the mycotoxins, and that sends off when the mycotoxins build up so much in your body, and then it sends the biotoxin pathway, which I totally do not understand, but there is a process that it goes through to start the inflammatory process in your cells. And then your cells freak out. They send out this alarm that something is wrong, something is invading your cells, which is called the cell danger response, which is very interesting, but it's a very long, complicated process too. But in any kind of inflammatory response, it is because of the cell danger response. Same things happen with COVID long haul, or any kind of inflammatory response. Your cells are trying to react to this foreign invader, and they are overpowered, and they try all of these things to they're just trying to protect themselves. And that's what the inflammatory response is doing. But all of the time, it's just sending every system of your body into a total freak out. And so, yeah, once that starts, and it starts that systemic symptomatic response, and it just gets to the point where you're just not able to function anymore. And after that really hit me, it's always the perfect storm, right? I was living in mold, COVID, and all of that, just the stress of that. And I was taking all of these vaccines, which I am not poo-poo on the vaccine for COVID, even though I do recognize that there are chemicals and there are things and issues with them. I get it. But I was a school teacher, and I did not want the COVID. And so I got 3 vaccines, and every time it sent my body into more inflammatory response, which was not good. But the COVID would have done it too. I stayed away from the COVID, thank goodness. But, all of these symptoms are all of the same when there is an inflammatory response. From environmental illnesses or whatever. Toxins build up, and then your body and your cells go into freak out mode with the cell danger response. They start the inflammatory process, and you just get all kinds of symptoms all over your body, debilitating. So if you would like help in trying to calm this inflammatory system out, please reach out to me, and I will be glad to help you to conquer this. I am feeling so much better, and I'm just trying to get the word out and to help whoever I can to beat this.